Junk, a short film script by Zig Bingham, copyright 2017, this revision 2024. This script is read by the author. Preface. Hi there, before we get started, just a little introduction and an explanation. So this script for a short film that I wrote was posted originally on the Diary of Short Disturbances, which is an old blog of mine around about 2017. And what I've done, I've taken it, I've brought it up to date a little bit, just tidied it up a little bit, and it's now on the Coin Up Animators website, which is where I'm going to consolidate all my little side projects and over the years. So you're going to see some more stuff coming from the Diary of Short Disturbances, some more audio shorts, bits and pieces, and that's going to happen soon. In regards to this script itself, I'm reading it from the webpage, from the script, so you're going to hear things like fade in, cut to, internal, the squat day, external, the brook, things like that. That describes where we are. When we change a scene, that's just what we say at the top of the script. So I kept that in. Maybe when I do another one of these, I will find a more creative way to replace this to make it less confusing maybe to a non-initiated. But maybe if you've never listened to a script, it'd be quite interesting to hear how it's all laid out, and and you'll enjoy it. I've also not said he said, she said, blah, 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 or read out the names of the characters. I've tried as best as I can in my limited ability to do the voices, and hopefully they're distinct enough for you to understand. Well, that's enough of me rambling. We're going to get to it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did writing it and also narrating it and revisiting this script from my past. Junk. Thanks very much. You are listening to Junk, a short film script read and written by Zig Bingham. Trigger warning. This script contains instances of drug abuse, violence and adult themes and is recommended for a mature audience only. Fade in. Internal, the squat day. A junkie couple, Junk and Maria, lie in a squalid bed made from pallets and an old mattress. Next to the bed is a makeshift table with the unclean paraphernalia of the junkie's wasted night. Needles, burnt spoon, foil in a pile of broken cigarettes, sweet wrappers and discarded dreams. Junk is mid-nightmare, restless, fevered. Flashes of something terrible plays across his face. Beside him is Maria, a dirty, skinny mess of a woman. Totally oblivious to his discomfort, she lies curled up in a ball against the crumbling wall. Junk frantically tosses and turns as another restless night brutally distorts his face and writhing body. His nightmare never seems to end until suddenly he snaps awake, bolt upright, sweat dripping, his patch of the bed soaked through. Panting and short of breath, he looks around, slowly adjusting to this new reality. Junk checks his watch and shakes it. Broken, he throws it against the far wall and then kicks the table away, making a noise that would wake God. Maria, however, does not react. She is dead to the world. Junk rocks Maria. Nothing. Lifeless as a corpse. Is she in fact dead? Junk panics and rolls her over, not breathing. Breathing, can't be sure. He grabs her wrist and struggles to find a pulse amongst her skinny bones and his calloused fingers. Unsuccessful, he places an ear over Maria's open mouth and waits. And waits, holding his breath. Come on, come on. He breathes again. Fuck me, she's fine. And he rolls her to her former position. She lets out a grumpy sigh. He brushes the hair out of her face, pauses, then heads to the bathroom, stepping over the dusty relics of the once great Georgian house that is their squat. Internal squat, toilet, continuous. Junk stands at the dirty, broken mirror next to the dirty, broken toilet. His reflection accuses him, daring him to turn away. He tries to clean a portion of the mirror with his palm, but only ends up cutting himself. He looks down at his hand like he's seen this all before, grabs a rag and then wraps it around it. A rogue splash of blood drips in slow motion to the dirty floor, echoing loudly as it explodes on contact. Junk spins, reacting to some unseen thing darting behind him. Something we do not see, like a cat that's seen a spirit. For a moment he hesitates, staring at the doorless frame before leaving the bathroom. Internal squat, various rooms, continuous. We follow Junk as he desperately looks around for his apparition, in and out of various deserted rooms, but he finds nothing. Nevertheless, he remains spooked. Junk returns to the bed and stands over Maria, watching her breathe, her chest rising and falling more clearly now she slowly awakens. At one time she would have been a great beauty with her long raven hair and petite breasts. Maria slowly wakens up and turns to the bedside table to find it's no longer there. Blearily she opens her eyes and scans for the drug makings and sees them strewn across the floor. "What the fuck did you do that for?" she says. Junk sits down beside Maria and reaches out, causing Maria to flinch. He tries to whisper something into her ear, but she is unamused and doesn't want to be touched. "I don't want to hear it. Give me my shit." Junk looks at her like he's told her the most important thing she will ever heard. "I need a fix." Junk gets up, puts the makeshift table back together and starts to collect the drug makings now strewn across the grimy floor. Lastly, he picks up the half-empty bag of heroin, rolling it back and forth between his fingers. "Why are you fucking with me?" Fed up with her and her bullshit, Junk throws the baggie at Maria and leaves, grabbing his parka off the chair by the exit as he goes. "Where's my lighter?" External street, outside squat, continuous. Junk stands out in the drizzle, looking about, struggling with his parka. Before him the city, vast and grey as the day that lies before him. Rusty scaffolds hold up the unloved building behind him. Unseen from the squat, Maria screams abuse at Junk, but the rain and the building and his new resolve numbs the sound. A group of kids pass by, chatting, laughing, pointing fingers. A young girl, mid-teen, stares back at Junk. As she passes, Junk looks like he's seen a ghost. She continues to walk on, keeping one eye on his skinny ass. He transfixed until a flying apple comes out of nowhere and hits him in the head. And then they're gone. The young girl takes one more look at Junk, and she too turns the corner. Finally pulling on his olive parka, Junk allows the cold rain to fall on his face before pulling the hood over and down. Get it together. There's work to do. Internal supermarket. Day. Junk walks around the supermarket looking like the Walking Dead. Every bit uncomfortable to be there as those are around him. Regular people walk past, some giggle, some turn their nose at him, all cringe at the smell. Junk checks himself. He too cringes. He grabs a deodorant off the shelf and sprays himself and puts it back, not happy with the smell. The supermarket is quiet, almost too quiet. Odd. He finds his deodorant he likes after testing a few. He drops the can into the basket and then grabs some toothpaste nearby, pocketing that when no one is looking. Why is it so damn quiet? Continuing on, he picks seemingly random items off the shelf and throws them into the wire basket, and the occasional other item in a pocket. He turns into another aisle and Junk becomes aware that he now has a stalker. Well-dressed, shiny shoes. Store detective. Junk's basket is a potpourri of weird, seemingly unrelated items. Corkscrew, wire wool, fruit, tea towels, a pair of sunglasses. And the store detective is becoming a little more obvious. Junk makes his way to the checkout but is blocked by two security guards. Young guard, kinda stupid looking in his baggy suit. An old guard, grey, retired cop, beer belly, wobbling towards Junk. "We've had some complaints, sir. Would you mind coming with us?" the old guard says. Junk's stare indicates he does mind. The two guards inch forward, one taking the left, one the right. "Come on, sir." Junk tries to keep both guards in his vision by backing up. "What, you cooking?" the young guard says. Junk sees door security blocking his escape at the main entrance ahead. Come on, sir. Why don't we go to the office and talk about this in private? Or do we have to call the police? Young guard is almost right on top of Junk as he backs up, keeping just enough distance, but Junk can see that the young guy is looking for a scrap. Far off, circling around, store detective is on his phone. The old guard sighs. We have called the police, sir. It would be better for all concerned if you came with us now, and I can cancel that call. The net tightens. By now the store detective has moved away from the back door he was blocking, too eager to get a better view, probably giving the dispatcher Junk's description. Young guard brings out a can of mace. The old guy motions to him to put it away. Young guard ignores him. Your eyes, sir. You smell a high, the young guard says. And the guard goes to grab Junk's arm, but misses. Junk is fast, slippery fucker. The young guard spins around and sprays the mace. And now time slows down. Junk grabs the old guard's outstretched hand and pulls the old man off balance, sending him into the path of the young man's mace spray and blinding the old man. Door security appears to be running into the fray and sees young man's shocked face being hit by Junk's shopping cart, sending 2 white teeth cascading into the air. He immediately starts crying. In a smooth follow-on, Junk brings the basket around and onto the floor, sliding it like a bowling ball across the floor, scuttling the legs of door security and sending him headfirst into the ground. Crunch. Time now goes back to normal speed. Junk turns to the blinded, red-eyed old guard, still holding the radio and not saying anything, just spluttering and waving his arms about, looking for Junk. The whole supermarket is frozen in shock, dead quiet. Junk stares down the store detective as he swipes the old guard's radio and his chocolate bar. Crash cut to the police coming through the front door. Store detective all tough now, but Junk is gone. The back door swings squeakily closed. The supermarket still silent save for the insipid music and shouting copiers. We focus on the clock and we see it stopped. Fade to black. External, the woods. Later. Junk stands in the clearing near the stream and the broken pipe and pulls out a bunch of items from his pockets, back of his trousers, all around his person. He lays the items out in front of him on his unfurled parka, admiring his handiwork. On his arm, 3 wristwatches. He now has a carrier bag full of booty. The supermarket wasn't his last stop. He's been busy. He skips through the channels of the radios and finds nothing but static. He curses himself that he only got one. We hear a crack. We see a bush move. Junk grabs his haul and disappears into the forest. Out of the moving bushes, the young girl follows him whilst keeping a safe distance. External, the clearing, continuous. We are now at a brook. Several big old pipes feed a little dirty pool. One old storm drain is empty and dry. Junk takes up his top and washes his armpits in the cold water whilst keeping an eye on the sky. He looks around and drops his trousers just enough to get some water on his balls. Fuck it, it's cold. He sniffs himself and then his old t-shirt. Disgusted at the smell of the shirt, he throws it away and pulls a new shirt out from his booty bag. Has another look around, then climbs into the storm drain, disappearing into the darkness. We hear several clicks of the clipper. We see a flash of success, and then small trails of blue-grey smoke is blown out of the drain. And Junk is happy. Bushes rustle and the young girl appears. She cautiously approaches the storm drain and hears muttering coming from the hall. A watch is thrown out, narrowly missing the young girl. A second shiny watch, closely followed by another. Junk making noises in the drain, pissed and cussing. Young girl picks up the watches and looks at them. They're all dead, all battery powered. Then she leans into the storm drain. Hello? Hello? Fuck off! What's with all the watches? Will you please just fuck off? I can't. Sure you can. You just put one foot in front of the other and just fuck off. That's my hidey hole. That's where I go to smoke. And you're in it. Junk climbs out of the pipe like an angry, dark spider. The hours without heroin is taking its toll. All but spent fag dangles out of the corner of his mouth. You look like shit. Junk towers over the girl. She doesn't flinch to his attempts to menace her. He takes the fag and flicks it away. Then grabs the young girl, kicking and screaming, into the pipe. Deep into the darkness she is dragged, trying to scream through Junk's dirty fingers. They disappear into the darkness. We hear nothing except for the occasional protests of the girl and kicking a pipe. She manages to escape momentarily, only to be pulled back into the tunnel, engulfed by its icy blackness. Then all is quiet. Boom! A loud thunderclap. Trees sway, wind rushes, an all-encompassing fireball sweeps the brook, turning everything into fire. Cut to black. Fade in. External, the clearing. It's all just blackened stumps of desolation now. Trees burned to carbon, most smouldering, some still on fire. The brook is no more, all the water is gone and the ground has been sucked dry of moisture. We hear the young girl stir. Unsteadily she climbs out of the storm drain, rubbing her wrists. She surveys the carnage. Up on the brow of the hill stands Junk, looking out. She joins him and the pair look out over the crest of the hill, but we stay on them, the view as yet hidden from us. Fuck. You know, Mum's been asking for you. She misses you. Junk says nothing for a long while. How did you know about all this? Are you psychic now? I've been having dreams lately. I thought it was a smack. And things started happening. Things that I'd seen before. Things I'd dreamt. And it wasn't like deja vu. It was one thing after another. Signs. We now see flashes of his dream intercut with the scene. The death's head figure stalking him. Maria standing in the bathroom, her eyes emitting flames. The young girl walking past the squat as we saw in the first scene, but her head is ablaze. Flesh burns away from a blackened skull. I saw you burn. I didn't burn, you saved me. Junk tries to hold the tears back. You try to tell anyone about your visions? Junk just looks at her and smiles. You clean now? Junk looks down to his wrist, a working stolen watch, an old-fashioned wind-up Timex. He holds up his hand. 5 hours. He's starting to Jones. The young girl looks at him. What now? Any more revelations? Junk doesn't know, and she walks off. I can't find Mum. Then pauses. You coming? Junk stares at her for a while. Does he see something we don't? And then the two walk off as we pull out to reveal a devastated, destroyed city. Several craters smoke from the impact of white-hot meteors. Through pale atmosphere, we see that a new planet has arrived, taking up half the horizon. Where there was silence, we now hear screaming, alarms, dogs barking, panic growing louder and louder and louder until it becomes cut to black. The end. Well, thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did writing it and narrating it. A couple of disclaimers. All of this material here was written and this is the copyright of me, Zig Bingham. You can find the original post on the CoinUp Animator's website, which is coinupanimator.com, along with other bits and pieces. You can download the audio file of this itself from my coffee shop. You can buy me a coffee if you want. You can follow the CoinUp Animator website by just subscribing to the newsletter. It's free. It just sends you notifications to your inbox of when I posted stuff on the blog. So you can keep up to date that way. Or, as I said previously, you can find me on my socials. Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you listening to this. And you got any suggestions or you just want to say hi, just pop on by. Ciao for now. Junk, a short film script by Zig Bingham, copyright 2017, this revision 2024.